Good afternoon, everybody now. I'd like to thank the RSCni for achieving the award today. I would like just to introduce Southwest College and where we came from. We have 2 awards today, so that's very good. Thank you very much. And I would like to say thank you to our director, Malachy McAleer, and Michael McAllister, our head of curriculum and business development, for their support in putting these awards together. The awards are sort of based, our award submissions were based on our virtualisation project, and hopefully today you'll see a bit of what happened during our virtualisation project. It was a 9-month project. It started last March and it completed at the end of November. So a bit of an introduction to that. I came back from maternity leave on the 1st of March and I was given this project to do on the 1st of March. So there was no lead-in time to that one, so there wasn't 9 months. Seemed like the time to deliver a baby. Have it done and dusted by the end of November. So hopefully within the presentation today you're going to see a bit of what was involved throughout the college. It involved the whole of the college, every single member of staff, and 5,665 students. So no small undertaking for any of the staff or any of the students. So just some of the comments that was made earlier, it's about a team effort. It most definitely was a very big team effort, and all of the team was involved, and there was lots of people asked throughout the journey, is it me, Ciara, do I have to do it? Can I not cop out? No. Michael said, nobody can cop out, everybody's involved, everybody has to do it. A lot of the students thought coming up into the lead-in that they didn't have to do it. Unfortunately, they had to do it, all the students had to do it as well. So it was quite a big undertaking for the college, and we did pull it off in the end of it, as is testament today. So we're just going to start. I'm going to introduce the team that's going to present today. We do everything as teams, there's no sole traders in our place. My name is Ciara Duffy and I was the project manager. Winnie is going to come up first, and Cahar, and they were both lecturers as part of the lecturing team involved. And we have Mary Martin today as well, which was our e-pedagogy advisor throughout the whole project, and she's continuing to work with us as we move forward in this journey. So I'm just going to start us off here, and hopefully the technology actually does work. So the category that we picked up the first award was for innovation in learning support. So the rationale, where we started out, was during the Southwest College Virtual Week, all the students were required to study from home. And as one of our tutors is going to tell you about today, she first of all said, that's not going to be our special needs students, they can't do that. So she'll tell you a bit more about that, and I'm not stealing her thunder. So there was a bit of, these were our students with learning difficulties, and they needed to be supervised by their tutors in the college environment. And one of the objectives of the Southwest College project was to ensure that students with learning difficulties would be given an opportunity to experience the virtual collaborative learning in a way that promotes effective learning and fosters enjoyment of the learning process. So they weren't to be excluded in this whole project. So after meeting the teaching team, we selected the video conferencing as the technology that would best fit their needs. And again, as I say, Winnie's going to sort of give it to you from her point of view as the lecturer involved. So I'm going to ask Cahar now to come up and tell us a wee bit more about the study day.
So the study day was as part of the college-wide initiative to promote virtualisation. And the challenge for special education, and both teams across the OMA and the Skilling campuses, was to provide an activity that was inclusive, accessible and fun, and a chance to further immerse the students in the world of digital media. The resulting video conference between the special education departments of both campuses served as an introduction to video conferencing for both staff and teachers alike. As it turned out, the staff were more nervous about taking part than the students were. The students took it in their stride with typical gusto. The focus of the session was on enjoyment, learning by doing, a variety of presentation and a variety of activities, and particularly with an emphasis on interactivity. As you can imagine, our students thrive in interactivity as a means to learning, and so the response was immediate and enthusiastic. With the support of the staff and students, the students introduced themselves and questioned each other about their interests. They told jokes, shared funny stories. It was the first section in the study. It was more a getting to know you section, and getting to know the technology and getting to experience it. The frequent laughter and applause at both ends of the conference were testament to how enjoyable the students found the experience of interacting virtually with their remote peers. Looking around the room, it was plain to see that all students were fully engaged in the experience, and the meeting itself became transparent. The students, many of them said that they felt like they were, that they were in the room with each other. And both sides they expressed that. It felt like they were, they were together and sharing the one experience. Student and staff feedback were universally positive, with students expressing a sense of wonder at the technology and an eagerness to try video conferencing again in the near future. And they got a chance to do that as part of the virtual week. So just kind of put the lesson in context. Again, we had the challenge of making virtual week something that was real and something that was accessible for our students. So our second video conference took place as part of that program, and it was tailored to involve students. The students would learn difficulties in the virtual week. The program of the week actually involved the chance to use a wide range of digital media and technology, as well as a visit to the college's Cutting Edge STEM Centre. The conference itself was based on the teen lesson plan, on the theme of health and safety. Staff at both ends worked as a team to provide an enjoyable learning experience through a variety of activities. There was also further relations between the student cohorts of each campus. The session began with a brief introduction of students and staff, kind of reacquaint ourselves with each other, and a chance for some of the students to chat informally across the VC unit. The lesson itself employed a variety of techniques, including team teaching, video, role play, question and answer, interactive quizzes, and PowerPoint display, all of which were used to great effect. The range of media served to fully engage the students in the lesson, as well as reinforce learning. If you talk to the students now, they can still tell you, they can still tell you what was done on the day, they can still answer the questions. Everything that was learned was really ingrained quite deeply. And it also served to give the students an opportunity to participate in a form of virtual learning that was appropriate to their abilities. The students themselves found the experience hugely enjoyable, and ultimately effective learning had taken place. For this reason, all staff were extremely proud of the success of the lesson, and we're looking forward to moving forward to their next challenge in virtual learning. Thank you.
Hello. This is the lesson plan, and obviously we had to create this, but how did we get here? I myself personally, I was quite excited about the virtual week because I was on HND programs and HNC programs, but I was very concerned about my students, as I call them, with varying disabilities and learning disabilities. How could we integrate them and include them, because obviously that's my passion. So I was at one of the training workshops for a virtual week, and Kira and Mary were there, and of course I was on my hobby horse. I needed to know how to include my students, and we came up with the idea of video conferencing. And I have to say, I was very excited. There were a lot of colleagues that were concerned about virtual week. They were concerned about technology, and obviously I was concerned about that, but I was so passionate that my students were going to be included that I forgot about all the IT and everything that I had to learn. On video conference, I have to say, I can sell it just by the rapport and everything, the feedback that I got from my students. And also, obviously we have a lesson plan to create, but we also have to evaluate our lesson plan. And I mean, by just listening to the students, and even now, and that's many months since we did that lesson plan, they still remember what they did on that day. And sometimes it's quite difficult for them to retain their information and to learn. So I definitely found that the video conferencing was very good. The making up of the lesson plan, obviously it had to be quite organised so that we covered our learning outcome was their personal safety, But again, it was a team, it was teamwork. Not only was it teamwork within the campus, it was across campus, which again I'm very excited about, because we can be sometimes, we've been isolated in Enniskillen and in Fermanagh and that. So we set up our lesson plan and followed it through video conferencing, and definitely from my opinion and from the opinion of the team, it was very, very good, very, very worthwhile, and our evaluation was very positive from the students and from the rest of the team. The benefits then. The benefits to Southwest College. Well, obviously I have went on a wee bit there. The benefits to my students or to our students were second to none. So obviously, in my opinion, that benefits the college greatly, because we're very much into inclusion. Our community around us would give us quite good feedback about Southwest College being an inclusive college. So obviously now with our video conferencing and becoming more aware of IT, etc., and being able to use it, it's going to give our students with different learning abilities the opportunity to experience blended learning, and the opportunity to feel that they're doing the same as the students that they meet on other courses, and they can get into that conversation and they can share that conversation with them. Southwest College can now facilitate students with learning difficulties to meet their particular learning needs. We also can provide a more flexible learning delivery and to that particular student cohort, which in my opinion will improve retention. It's also able, when I'm going out as coordinator for the courses, it will also give me reason for why the students should sign up for my course, because we're technology, we're working well with technology. And the organisation now has the capacity to widen access and to increase participation to a broader geographical area and a range of learners. So basically I am very excited about continuing on with the video conference. We believe that video conferencing is a very good teaching tool. It's a great form of technology for our students. The unit that we're doing at the minute is communication, and we found that this is a great form of communicating with other students in other campuses.
The things that I picked up on were that it was active, it was interactive, the learning was collaborative, there was a great variety of strategies, activities changed every 15 minutes or so, and the fun just kept increasing, and so did the learning. And there were so many other riches in it, that just apparently happened effortlessly. There was team teaching there, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, you were teaching right across to Enniskillen. Winnie and Enniskillen took control of this classroom. And I loved the bit where sort of the limitations of the particular system that we're using were exploited. For example, it is possible in video conferencing, as you know, to have the quiz and the PowerPoints and so on screen, but yours was in the classroom at each site, which meant then there was a form of blended learning, because what was happening was each teacher was turning to his and her own classroom, class rather, in a face-to-face role, and then back again using the technology. It was just a gem. I totally loved it.
With the video conferencing, it makes all of the students very equal in the room, regardless of their disability. And Lisa used her light writer today.
That was wonderful.
And students got up, like Richard got up during the session, and Richard wouldn't normally get up in class, which was really lovely. Yeah. And the likes of Connor, who normally would maybe dominate a class, then was shy, which was really interesting.
My name's Pearl and this is Kevin. We're from horticulture, and I enjoyed the video there on the gardening tips, bad and good points about gardening. It's really good. So.
But I loved the way that there was so much fun about the whole thing, and yet there was really, really good learning outcomes. And that was really, I thought, down to the teachers as much as the technology. Now, I'm a big, big fan of video conferencing, but I think it all depends on how the teachers use it. And in this case, at both sites, I thought it was a model of good practice.